Hi friends, we've looked at how Jesus has narrowed us, but how has He broadened you? How has His boundless set of ideas, His boundless love and forgiveness, His boundless hope, His boundless redemption and reach changed the way you look at people and the way you look at the world? I want to share something with you that God has taught us working with our missionaries overseas. It's called the 4 calls. Open your Bible to Mark 16:15. This is the first call. Jesus says, "Go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation." We call this the call from above, and the call from above tells us to go. Now let's look at the second call. Let's go to Luke chapter 16, verse 27 and 28. It's the story of Lazarus the beggar and the rich man who wouldn't take any pity on him. With Lazarus in heaven and the rich man now in hell, the rich man says, "I beg you, Father, send Lazarus to my father's house, for I have brothers. Let Lazarus warn them so that they will not also come to this place of torment." We call this the call from below, and the call from below tells us to go. Now let's look at the third call. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16. Paul writes, "I am compelled to preach. Woe to me if I do not preach the gospel." We call this the call from inside, and the call from inside tells us to go. Finally, let's look at the fourth call. Turn to Acts chapter 16, verses 9 and 10. It says, "During the night, Paul had a vision of a man of Macedonia standing and begging him, 'Come over to Macedonia and help us.' After Paul had seen the vision, we got ready at once to leave for Macedonia, concluding that God had called us to preach the gospel there." We call this the call from outside. And the call from outside, like all the rest, tells us to go. As followers of Jesus, we are called to go and make disciples. We're called to go into all the world and preach the good news of Jesus Christ to all creation and to bring His love to all the corners of the earth. The call from above tells us to go. The call from below tells us to go. The call from inside tells us to go. And the call from outside tells us to go. Jesus' broad heart is for all humanity, every man and woman. And He wants to use you and I to accomplish His work. How is He now using you to carry on His worldwide work?